now let us learn about the chemical properties of metals. So initially we will go with the first reaction, the reaction of metals with oxygen or air. Then what happens? What is the reaction between oxygen and metal? Let me see here. When metal is reacted with oxygen, it is going to form its respective metal oxides. When metal is reacted with oxygen, it is going to form its respective metal oxides. So simple example I will take sodium, which is one of the most highly reactive element. So this sodium, if it is kept outside, it is combining with oxygen, then it is forming sodium oxide, Na2O. You have to balance the equation. Always while writing the equation, it should be in the balanced manner. See, metal, sodium have took oxygen, then this oxygen and metal is combining to form metal oxide, Na2O, sodium oxide. Even though you can take other examples like magnesium is one of the element or a metal which is combining with oxygen, it is going to form magnesium oxide. So like that, the element, that too the metal, whenever it is having an ability to combine with oxygen, it is going to form its respective metal oxides. And most of all, in your exams, they may ask a question like this: what is the nature of metal oxide? So this metal oxides, when they, simple example I will take same magnesium oxide. This metal oxide, when it is dissolved with water, it is going to form its respective hydroxide. Metal oxide reacted or dissolved in water, it is going to form magnesium hydroxide. In the second chapter, we have learned that if OH group is present, it is called as hydroxide group. So it is also called as alkali or base. So this can be tested with a litmus papers where red litmus paper is turning into blue. If a red litmus paper is converted or it is turning into blue color, then we can say the solution which is formed here is basic, and the metal oxides are going to form bases. Due to that, all these metal oxides are basic in nature. Clear? I have a doubt, I have a question for you. See, zinc oxide, one of the element. Zinc, when it is combined with oxygen, it is going to form zinc oxide. That I am taking as an example. If zinc oxide is combining with HCl, any metal oxides are nothing but those are basic in nature. That example I have took now. All the metal oxides I am saying it is a basic nature. And other example, zinc oxide, it is also a type of metal oxide. It is reacted with an acid. HCl is nothing but hydrochloric acid. It is reacted with acid and it is forming ZnCl2 plus H2O. That in the sense, base and acid. Acid base will react to form salt and water. So this reaction is nothing but neutralization reaction, that you know already. So acid is reacting with base now. So ZnO is acting as a base. Same again, ZnO in place of acid, if you are taking NaOH, NaOH is base. Already you know sodium oxide is metal oxide. When it is dissolved in water, it is going to form its respective bases. Here I am taking, in place of HCl, I am taking base as NaOH and ZnO as it is ZnO. When these two are reacting, it is forming a compound sodium zincate. Na2ZnO2 plus H2O molecule. So this sodium zincate is also a type of salt with that water molecule. So what we can say, it is also a type of neutralization reaction. So here ZnO is acting as a acid. Okay. Sometimes some of the metal oxides are showing basic nature as well as acidic nature. So the metal oxides which are behaving both acidic and basic, those metal oxides are called as amphoteric oxides. Amphoteric oxides. So this metal oxide, like the zinc oxide, we can give an example. Even though aluminum oxide also, Al2O3, this metal oxide also will behave like acidic as well as basic. Due to that, these examples we can say them as amphoteric oxides. which will show the both behavior of acids as well as bases. Now the second reaction, the reaction with water. When any metal is reacting with water, it will form its respective metal hydroxide. It is going to form its respective metal hydroxide, which is in basic nature. It is also called as base. And for example, if you are taking zinc, so this zinc is combining with water, it is forming zinc hydroxide, ZnOH twice. Or sodium, when it is combining with water, and that should be cold water, it is going to combine to form NaOH, so sodium hydroxide. So like that, the metal will combine with water, then it is going to form its respective metal hydroxides. One thing here, the iron, which are moderate reactive, I will be discussing in a reactivity series there. Some of the elements are most reactive, they readily react with oxygen or water and they forms their respective hydroxides or oxides. And some of the elements which are moderate reactive, they do not react with water but they react with steam. So steam in the sense the water which is in gaseous state. Iron is an example. When iron is combining with water which is in a gaseous state, so this is going to form iron oxide, Fe2O3, and it does not form hydroxide. With the liberation of hydrogen gas, it is going to form hydrogen gas. So this is the difference whenever you are writing the reaction with metal and water. Metal water always forms metal hydroxide, but some of the metals which are low reactive, those will not react with cold water but they react with hot water or steam. They will form their respective oxides, not hydroxides. Okay, so let us go with the next reaction now. Reaction with acids. Reaction with dilute acids. So for example, when metal is reacted with acid, it forms its respective metallic salts. With that, hydrogen gases will be liberated outside. For example, I am taking zinc as an element. So this zinc, when it is combined with HCl, hydrochloric acid, it is going to form zinc chloride, ZnCl2 plus hydrogen gas will be liberated outside. So always while writing reaction, balance it. Zinc is a metal, acid I took hydrochloric acid, it is going to form metallic salt, zinc chloride, with that hydrogen gas liberation will be there. Let us go with some other examples. See, in place of metal I have took zinc, and in place of HCl take another acid, it is sulfuric acid H2SO4. To this it is going to form zinc sulfate, ZnSO4 plus hydrogen gas will be liberated outside. So zinc is going to displace hydrogen to form zinc sulfate, with that hydrogen gases will be liberated. Then same again, zinc with nitric acid, HNO3 is there now. If suppose nitric acid is there, there is no formation of hydrogen gas, but in place of formation of hydrogen gas, another compound like zinc nitrate, as it is salt formation will be there. With that, nitrogen dioxide and water molecule. There is no liberation of hydrogen gas, but there will be formation of water molecule. Then what is the reason? As I said, when the metal is reacted with acid, they have to form metallic salt and hydrogen gas. This is a general formula, general equation. Based on that, when the metal is reacted with nitric acid, it is not going to form hydrogen gas. What is the reason here? This nitric acid is most oxidizing agent. So because of this, when the hydrogen gas is liberated, the excess amount of oxygen will be present in the nitric acid. That oxygen will combine with hydrogen to form water molecule. So due to that, it will not allow the hydrogen to liberate out, it forms water molecule. But some of the examples are there, like manganese and magnesium. Only these two elements will react with the nitric acid to form hydrogen gas. For example, you can look at both magnesium with nitric acid, HNO3, it is going to form magnesium nitrate, MgNO3 twice. With that, hydrogen gases will be liberated. So like this, only magnesium and manganese have an ability to form salts and hydrogen gas. See here, hydrogen gas liberation will be there, but remaining all the elements with nitric acid doesn't form hydrogen gas because of its oxidizing agent. Clear? So let us go with the next reaction. The reaction with salt solutions. If salt solution is there, in place of metal as it is salt solution, it is going to form salt and deposition of element. For example, if you are taking iron as an element, metal is iron and copper sulfate solution, I am writing it as aqua in the sense which is in the solution state. This iron is high reactive, it will kick out copper, it displaces copper, in place of copper iron will set, then it is forming FeSO4. So iron sulfate with that copper will be deposited. So like that, the reactivity series is very important, it will be discussed later in the next classes. Based on the reactivity of the element, the solution and the metal will get displaced to form another salt solution and the deposition of that element will be there. And the next reaction with chlorine gas. When the reaction is taking place in the chlorine gas, always it forms chlorides. The formation will be chloride. For example, metal is taken as sodium and gas, chlorine gas is passed because the reaction is with chlorine. It is going to form sodium chloride, NaCl. So like this, always when the metal is combining with chlorine, it is going to form its respective chlorides. Then same again the reaction with hydrogen gas. If the hydrogen gas is going to react, for example, sodium is taken as a metal, with that hydrogen gas is combined and it is going to form sodium hydride. So the formation of hydrides will be there. When metals are reacted with hydrogen gas, the formation of metal hydrides. When the metals are reacted with chlorine gas, then the formation of metal chlorides. So these are the chemical properties of metals. First one, the metal is reacted with oxygen, then the metal is reacted with water, then metal is reacted with acids, after that metal is reacted with salt solution, after that metal is reacted with chlorine gas as well as hydrogen gas. Clear? Let us go with the reaction of non-metals with other properties. A non-metal reaction with the oxygen or air, what happens? Look at here, when non-metal is reacted with oxygen, it is going to form its respective non-metal oxides. The reaction of non-metal with oxygen, it is going to form its respective non-metal oxides. For example, non-metal you can take it as carbon, with that oxygen molecule is combining to form carbon dioxide. So oxide formation will be there. And even though other element like sulfur you can take, sulfur also it is one of the type of non-metal where combining with oxygen and it is forming sulfur dioxide. So here again a simple question, what is the nature of non-metal oxides? As we have discussed already in the before, metal oxides are having basic nature and non-metal oxides, what about non-metal oxides? So this carbon dioxide, non-metal oxide, when it is dissolved with water H2O, it is going to form H2CO3, which is called as carbonic acid. Another example, it is sulfur dioxide. So this sulfur dioxide, when it is mixed with water H2O, it is going to form H2SO3, which is called as sulfurous acid. If SO3 is there, it is going to form sulfuric acid. So H2SO3 is sulfurous, H2CO3 is called as carbonic acid. So these two solutions, when they tested with the blue litmus paper, this blue litmus paper will turn to red color. If it is turned to red color, these are called as acids. So due to this example, what we can say, non-metal oxides are always acidic in nature. Even though in the preparation of acids we are using the same phenomenon here. So same procedure is used while preparation of acids. Carbon dioxide with water forms carbonic acid. So due to that we are saying non-metal oxides are in acidic nature. Then the next one, reaction of non-metal with water, H2O. So directly we can say there is no reaction. The reaction of water is not taking place in between non-metal. Simple example, phosphorus is stored inside the water. So why it is stored inside water? Phosphorus is a type of non-metal where non-metal is not going to react with water, due to that it is stored inside the water. So that example you can take. Next one, the reaction of non-metal with acids. Even though in acids there is no reaction of non-metal. Directly we can say the non-metal is not going to react with water, even the non-metal is not going to react with acids. Now the next reaction, it is reaction with salt solution. Reaction with salt solution, simple example, if you are taking any salt, like I am taking NaBr, in place of NaBr if you are adding chlorine gas, okay. So chlorine is a non-metal, it have an ability to displace bromine, so the simple displacement will be taking place and it forms NaCl, with that bromine gas will be liberated outside. Clear? So simple displacement will be taking place. Even though in metals also, salt solution with metal the displacement reaction was taking, and salt solution with non-metals, here also it is going to take single displacement reaction. Then again the reaction, another equation, the reaction with chlorine gas, what happens? For example, if hydrogen gas is combined with chlorine gas, it is going to form hydrogen chloride, okay. So the formation of chlorides, non-metal will react with chlorine to form non-metallic chlorides. Then the next reaction, reaction of non-metal with hydrogen gas, what happens? Same simple example, nitrogen with hydrogen, it is going to form NH3, ammonia, okay. So non-metals will react with hydrogen and it is going to form its respective hydrates. Non-metals will react with chlorine and it forms its respective chlorides, chloride formation and hydrate formation. So these all are the chemical properties of non-metals. Dear students, hope you understood what are the physical properties and what are the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So in your notes, try to write the differences between the metals and non-metals, both physical properties of metals and physical properties of non-metals, chemical properties of metals and chemical properties of non-metals.